Hey, I'm Randy, and you're watching The Cheap Audio Man. Here at The Cheap Audio Man, we talk about high-value hi-fi, home theater, and headphone equipment. And today, we're talking about something right on the edge. It's right on the edge. It's on the edge of the cliff for being cheap audio. And that is the Pro-Ject Phonobox S2 tube. So is it worth it? I don't know. Let's find out. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk about the Pro-Ject Phonobox S2 tube. So, Pro-Ject. Talk to the folks over at Pro-Ject, and they asked me if I was interested in reviewing something that was much more expensive, something that was a bit outside of the comfort zone I don't know why I'm doing it, wheelhouse of the channel, but I'd always been interested in this thing. So I asked them, Pro-Ject, do you have a Phonobox S2 tube that I could try out? This comes in at $500 retail. I don't think it goes on sale very often. You may be able to find a open box or scratch and dent version of this from places like Crutchfield. I know there are a variety of retailers where you can buy the Pro-Ject. So $500 is pushing it for me for a phono preamp. But I wanted to see how much better, or if it was better at all, as the iFi Zen Phono, which used to come in around $160. Now it's $200. The one good thing about the Pro-Ject Phono Tubebox S2. The one thing about the Pro-Ject Tubebox S2 is it's been $500 for a while, so they haven't raised the price. So either A, they're really helping us out, or B, their margins were already so high on this product that they don't have to raise them. Either way, they haven't raised the price. So let's just take that win. Pro-Ject has not raised the price on the Tubebox S2. You may be able to get a deal on Crutchfield, Open Box, or Scratch and Dent. Let's talk about how this thing works. If you're new to turntables, you may not realize that you actually need to amplify the signal out of your record player twice. You need to do it once to get it to what's called line level. Line level is what your amplifier or integrated amplifier or receiver, it needs a certain level to then amplify it. So your sources, CD player, streamer, 8-track, cassette tape, all your sources are at the same level. So there's not a huge volume disparity. Not to mention, phono carts just need more amplification. Some turntables and record players already have an integrated phono preamp, so you just run a set of RCAs out right into a powered speakers, integrated amp, receiver, whatever it is, and then out to your speaker. So you don't have to worry about something like this. Most higher end turntables, you're gonna need a phono preamp. They range from $20 sometimes all the way up to $10,000. So there's a wide variance in the price points. My daily driver has been a Fozzy Audio. This is a $50 to maybe $70 product. Has variable gain right here on the front. This is a very common design. So you'll see this design from the likes of Duke Audio, IEMA, a bunch of other people. It's the same thing. So these both have tubes. However, they both don't sound exactly the same. If you're new to the turntable game, check and see if your turntable that you are thinking about getting has a phono preamp, or if that phono preamp can at least be turned off. Because chances are, if you're getting into the vinyl game, you're gonna probably want to upgrade. One of the best and easiest ways to get better sound is by upgrading your phono preamp. So if you get a table that already has a pre-installed phono preamp, make sure you can turn it off. Otherwise, you're going to have to buy a new turntable if you want to get a phono preamp to improve the sound quality. Conversely, if you're getting a turntable that has no phono preamp, then that means you're going to have to get a phono preamp. Let's talk about some of the features. On the front of this nice little piece of electronics, there is selectable gain. So you got 40 dB, 43 dB, 50, 53, 60, and 63 dB. Now you can check what the specifications are for your specific cartridge. It will tell you how much gain you are supposed to apply or use with your cartridge. Next to that, all the way over here on the left, is the subsonic filter. I personally like to have a phono preamp that has a subsonic filter. If you have, I don't know what you call it, I think it's rumble or something, like rumble in your tumble, rumble in your tummy. Anyway, if you have that on your speaker, you're not even going to hear it, but you're going to look at it, and the woofer is just going to be like that in and out of the speaker. Obviously, that's not a good thing. So what a subsonic filter does is, well, it filters out all the very low bass frequencies that could be exercising your woofer. Exercise the demons. It could be exercising the demons in your woofer, which means your woofer is going to die and then have a demon. So it wouldn't really be exercising anything. It's blocking the bad signals. They're bad signals from your speaker. It's a long way to say a subsonic filter is a great feature to have on a phono preamp. What's on the bottom? On the bottom? Yeah, on the bottom. There's a whole bunch of dip switches. So what one can do is really fine-tune the impedance settings and the capacitance settings for your specific cartridge. Now, I know it looks a little bit intimidating, but if you just think about this as there's a left channel and a right channel, and you're probably almost always going to have these set the same. So the only thing you need to do is go to your cartridge specifications for your specific cartridge, specific specifications, okay? And then you'll take a little tiny pencil or whatever it is. Now be careful, these are small switches. I felt like Jeff Goldblum there for a second. Be careful. So you'll switch that over to whatever you need. Now, you can use moving magnet or moving coil cartridges with this phono preamp. However, for moving coil cartridges, the output impedance is fixed at 47 kilo ohms for high output moving coil cartridges. Here's the thing, moving coil cartridges have a tendency to be more expensive. So the likelihood that you would be using them in conjunction with this isn't probably super high. However, since this is $500, we're starting to get up there in quality and price for a phono preamp. What's going on with me? Maybe someone could be using this for a moving coil cartridge. Anyway, what's on the back? On the back, it's pretty straightforward. You have your line in from the turntable. Right here's the ground, and then just RCA in, and then you RCA right out into your receiver integrated amplifier. Not power amplifier, but a preamplifier. Yes, and that's it. Same type of deal. This is the Fuzzy Audio. Now I will say, this here, I've got a scale around here. Anyway, this one, the Pro-Ject weighs more than the Fuzzy Audio. Ooh, I forgot to talk about tubes. This uses an ECC 83/12AX7A vacuum tube. Now, if you're into audio, y'all know about the incredible vacuum tube shortage because of what's going on way over in other places that make a lot of tubes. This is a more common tube, so they are still available. They may not be cheap, but they're still available. And this one, the tubes that are in here sound just fine. This one says PS Vane. So I'm not sure what those are. This is made in Slovakia though. So maybe they have a hookup with tubes. Takeaway is these tubes on here are just fine. So perhaps, maybe you can get away with these stock tubes for a while and then grab some newer tubes if they ever, go down in price or something. Let's talk about how it sounds. So, takeaway here, I'm going to be buying this thing from Pro-Ject. And obviously it's an endorsement from me. So, I really like the way this sounds. People say that tubes are warm. Again, I don't hear warmth from these tubes. I hear cleanliness. I hear an increase in soundstage. I hear a reduced noise floor, definitely over the Fuzzy Audio. Now, with that said, there's nothing wrong with the Fuzzy Audio. It sounds great. Actually, the Fuzzy Audio sounds warmer than the Pro-Ject. Could be the tubes, could be a variety of things. I love the sound of the Fozzy Audio, and for $60, $70, I don't think this thing can be beat. However, the Pro-Ject Tube Box S2 is better, much, much better than the Fozzy Audio. Is it 5 times better? Probably not. It's definitely 2 times better, if not 3 times. So what I am getting through this is a immediate improvement in soundstage depth, width, scale, and also pinpoint accuracy and lower noise floor. And it sounds to me, this sounds to me like the iFi Zen Phono, except with tubes. So bigger soundstage. Now the Pro-Ject is over twice as much as the Zen Phono, iFi Zen Phono. Is it worth it? Yeah, if you want tubes, sure. I don't think you can go wrong. I think you're probably getting 90% of what you're getting on really expensive phono preamps right here. So I think this is kind of this is where I'm ending my journey for a phono preamp. Maybe in the future I could hear something that just knocks my socks off. As it is though, I think the Tube Box S2 from Pro-Ject is going to be my new reference phono preamp. I'll still listen to other stuff, but it does it for me. I kind of feel like I found my phono preamp here. However, there's other phono preamps. I've got the Puffin that I'm going to be reviewing too. But I like this. I like this. I like tubes that aren't actually doing the speaker amplification. So I like to have tubes in my system, but not actually making the power or whatever you want to call it, because I've never liked any of those. However, on a phono preamp, I sure do like it. Can't say enough. I feel like it's overpriced though. If this was $350, that'd be great. But they have dealer markup, of course. So I wish they could shave $100 off of this thing. I wish they could shave $150, but $100, if this was coming in at $400, I think that would be a much easier decision. As it is, $500 I think is pushing it. It's on the outside. Personally, for me, I see the value there because the soundstage is just so big. There's something just a bit magical about it. It's dynamic, really brings things to life. It brings good things to life. What was that? GE? It brings good things to light. Is that GE, Sylvania? How ironic would it be? I think that it was. GE, it brings good things to life. I don't know. Put it in the comments if you know. Anyway, if you want to support the channel, you can sign up for my Patreon, patreon.com/cheapaudioman. Every Sunday night, we have patron-only Zooms. We also have a patron-only Facebook group and a patron-only Discord server. You can also buy this product. I'll link it in the description. That will be an affiliate link, which means if you click and you buy, I do get a commission. But it doesn't cost you anymore, so it's a darn great way to support the channel without having to spend anything else. You can also buy a coffee mug. You can also use the thanks button down at the bottom by the share button. Buy me a cup of coffee, but don't feel compelled to buy me anything. You can also just like and subscribe to this video. That helps out the channel too. So don't binge watch anything on Netflix or Hulu. Run on out and get yourself a Pro-Ject Tube Box S2. Turn on some vinyl and fill your soul with happiness. And with that, I'm Randy. I'm the Cheap Audio Man.